So hello everyone, this is the day 93rd of my journey to improve my communication skills. So today again I work on my vocal drills so that I can improve my voice as well as I work on my reading, writing, speaking and listening skills. So in reading again I read the book How to Develop a Strong Memory written by Anand Paul. So today I read about how to link the things, how to link, how to create a link between the things. So if you are learning anything, you should create a link with your memory or with the things which your memory can store easily, and then store it in some sequence manner so that whenever you require to remember or recall it, you can easily recall it. These are the ways to develop your memory as strong as possible. So that's all about my reading skills, and I encounter with a lot of the words whose meaning I don't know, and I put it in the chat GPT and get the words meaning and write a sentence on it which cover my reading and writing part. Then coming to my speaking section that I am doing now, and for my listening session. So today I listen a podcast. I watched a podcast on YouTube of Rashmani with some other uh, dignity. So basically, what I was doing, I was not just listening the podcast. I was uttering the words continuously and simultaneously when they spoke. So why I did that? Basically, I wanted to improve my pronunciation skills because if you are reading the words, if you don't know how to pronounce it, how do you know that which words is pronouncing in which way? Like I was pronouncing the Portugal Portugal as a Portugal, but it's the wrong pronunciation. It's basically Portugal. So that you will get to know only when you listen the word. So whenever you watch the podcast, after listening or simultaneously, you should, if you encounter with a word whose pronunciation you are pronouncing wrong in wrong way, you should pronounce with that moment only so that you can improve your pronunciation skills. So that's what I learned in my reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills. So coming to my DSA part. So today I solved two problems on the lead code. The first one is a Pascal triangle to print the Pascal triangle. So what is basically a Pascal triangle? So in Pascal triangle, it's in the form of triangle, and all the elements in the edges are uh, first and the last elements in each and every row is 1. This is basically the Pascal triangle, and the inside elements is basically sum of the uh, previous previous row. So every row, if we're talking about the row 0, then it contains one element. Row 1 contain one element, row 2 contain two elements, row 3 contain three elements. So it's like that, go in the back um, downwards, and every row numbers represent the number of the elements in an row. So basically, first of all, I just put one in all the, for example, for first row I put 1 1, for second row I put 2 1, and then for third row 3 1. Similarly, I put all the ones and then I replace it with a formula, like only I touch with middle elements, not the first and the last element. So this is basically approach to solve the Pascal triangle, to print the Pascal triangle. So coming to the second question, which is to find the maximum element in an array. Array basically is basically second problem, like, so suppose there is an array and there is n elements. So we need to calculate the number of the elements who are number of the elements whose count is greater than ny3, where n is the number of elements and we divide it to 3. So what is the basic scenario that we can approach? Like every array contains maximum of two elements, which is maximum than ny3, almost two elements. It may be 1, it may be 0. So this is basic. Uh, this is a basic formula or idea which can generate, uh, which we can assume for solving the problem. And I solved this problem with brute force, like by using two for loops and iterating to the whole array for each and every element whose time complexity is around n square, and Then I solve it with the help of map. So map is basically store the data, repetitive data in the form of key value pairs, where the first element represent the element and the second will represent the uh, repetition. So in the end, I will compare the repetition with NY3, and if it's greater than, then I print the first element of which is basically key value pair, key value from the from this unordered set, unordered map. This is basically approach which I apply to solve the problem. So yeah, that's all for today. So see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.